We're good.
And we're live. Here we are, Lit Literature, episode 22, the short bonus episode that we get. This is your host,
She's okay with me
the
working
Demon,
most,
JP.
almost always.
We are short one member. He did decide that we were not
that
important.
His marriage is more important than our podcast.
How dare
That's
he?
fair. That's fair, but how dare he?
That's not fair. She's
what
so
a jerk.
supportive.
So,
I see where I stand.
From somewhere I never know, the captain.
So, right now, I'm mentally and physically preparing myself to fight against the hog in a Herdazian pit.
Ooh, very nice. And then
Alright, I'm here,
love
Ben, the Hitman.
The Hitman.
Another episode.
Brett, the director.
Eam the Dream Manny?
So Emi, and
Dreamy.
quite dreamy. And well, I already gave my intro. So cheers, guys. This is a good
Sunday Punch.
shit.
Don't say the real words. We'll get sued.
All right. So we were finishing conversation. It's probably going to be a short episode.
It's gonna be a short episode.
Yeah, we just got to kind of complete what we talked about part 4. So we've got Shadesmar and Dalinar. Dalinar was
Shadesmere, we've been spending a lot of time on. Man, but the thing is, every time I read about Dalinar, the more I feel like I don't know him. Yeah.
Like,
when I was reading for the first, 2 books, I'm like, man, this guy, he really was a stand-up person, I thought. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, I found out that his personality pretty much did a 180.
Yeah.
And he was he was a bloodthirsty, all about the thrill, no politics. He's like, I don't want to do any of that shit.
A barbarian.
I just want to go to war and kill some people.
Berserker.
And
Straight
then,
up berserker.
he didn't spend any time with his family as much or as little as possible. And then all of a sudden, he went to the Night Watcher.
Yeah.
And his memories erased. And he became a new person.
The one thing we don't have the detail on, though. The one memory he still doesn't have.
Right.
Encounter.
We don't see that transition quite yet.
We saw the beginning and the prepping for it.
We still don't know exactly.
I bet we're gonna get in part 5,
for.
boys.
I hope so. If he makes us wait another 2 years, I'm gonna write an angry. Actually, I wouldn't be angry at all. I trust him wholeheartedly as an author, but
But yeah,
I think it's about time we sent an angry letter to Jim Butcher.
Yes! Damn it, Butcher! Put out some Dresden shit.
Yes! Dresden!
Sorry, anyway, that's
Anyways,
off
Yeah, that was a different tangent. Sorry.
I feel like it's 2 characters almost.
yeah.
And it's so hard for me to download that I know of what happened during this one period to his
Our first 2 books.
Yeah.
Like the first 2 books, we felt like we really got a feel of Dalinar, as it turns out.
Even
It's hard, man.
how Jasna feels about Dalinar, the best man she's ever known.
Yeah.
She knew both of them, the drunk
Yeah.
and the new Dalinar. And it's man.
But it could be the strength that he persevered through that, because I think the lesson in Dalinar is everybody has these downtrodden times, and Dalinar's were harder than most.
Well, he was just
I also think that it's
so gun-ho.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying he was just so one-sided. Most people are not like Dalinar, the past or present.
Yeah,
And he was so, I'm just gonna be the best warrior. I don't give a shit about anything else.
yeah.
These meetings about, treaties with other countries to make us stronger. I don't give a shit.
Garbanzo.
Yeah,
Trish.
Garbanzo. I'm just gonna do what I want.
Basura.
The thing that's so interesting about the situation with Dalinar, though, is that I know we've been drawing a lot of philosophical in this section. In these last three episodes, this episode and the last 2, we've been drawing a lot of connections with real world philosophies and stuff like that. But I feel like Dalinar does connect with a lot of actual real world ideas of what exactly constitutes a person. Are you your past? Are you your present? It seems like what most people are afraid of is the idea of future atrocities. They think that if somebody is one way, they're going to remain that way. But if somebody is genuinely not that way anymore, do they need to be punished? It's an idea, I'm sure this is an idea that has been discussed through other people, but I was introduced to it through someone named Sam Harris. And Sam Harris talks about the idea of, like, if you could take a serial killer or a murderer and give them a pill to fix that aspect of their mind to the point where they're not that person anymore, do they still need to be punished?
Well,
you know,
I think
it's an interesting idea.
Well,
because are they still the same person?
I feel like the reason for a lot of correctional facilities is just that they're supposed to be correctional, help people
they're
recover.
supposed to be, yeah.
They're
You know what I
supposed
mean?
to be, yeah.
So I don't think that we always think like, oh, we need to punish these people. We're trying to reform them.
I think
Right.
some people think
Incarcerate
that way,
and
but I think some
rehabilitate.
people feel like
Yeah.
there needs to be repercussions for an action.
Correct. Yeah,
you
I feel
know?
like really
Well,
we
like,
should be focusing on trying to
if
help
they had
people,
that
not
pill,
punish them.
They should be held responsible for the actions they took before that pill. But they should have help to be able to
Become and overcome
understand
that.
like
Right.
those urges, like why they.
So this is
Let us help
that
you be
stuff.
the person.
this is
that
an
you
interesting
can be.
touch point because Sanderson, he's not really giving us the answer. What he's doing is he's hinting on
He's hinting on an idea,
some of this, right?
Right.
So, like,
and I don't think
there's-
we'll ever have the answer.
Well, he'll have
you
it.
know?
We may not. We may, or maybe the answer isn't so simple. Maybe it's kind of individual because he's
Right.
hinting at it like this with Dalinar in his past and his current, but then he's hinting at something else maybe with Amaran.
Right.
And you get like, and Dalinar even asks him, "How is he different than me?" Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
where is this? So there's. I think
very true.
we're not
Yeah.
really getting the answer, and nor do we need it.
I mean-
and also, some of it is personal, but maybe they're.
There's no hard answer to these
Yeah, right.
questions.
But
I think
it's like-
sometimes answers are a little disingenuous.
It's really
because
deep
it's
with
all
these
about
things, though.
like what is the perception
Yeah.
of that situation
It's
of the
re-
society
Because,
of the
like,
time.
in honesty, what has Alman done that's so bad besides betray Kaladin?
Kellen's crew.
And
Or that Dalinar
his-
hasn't.
in his like thought, it's like I'm a leader. I can bring together 10 times the amount of people this guy has if I have a Shaw blade.
Yeah.
I already know how to use it, and it's wrong, but there's a thought process behind that thought that's not wrong.
Well,
And here's
to
where
me,
you get it's just Journey Before Destiny. I mean,
It
it's
is.
just
Yeah.
the debate.
That's
it's
to
what it
me,
is. Journey
to me the
Before.
It's
distinction to me the distinction is here. And this is what makes it so complicated is that you know your intentions and you like to think that you know what you would do in a situation, although most of us probably don't know until you're in that situation.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to, okay, we both did these terrible things in the past, but given that same situation right now, as the people we are now, what would we take? And I feel like he feels like Amaran would still do the same thing, where he feels like he would do a different thing.
And I
possibly.
agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And I think that is the difference
Yeah.
between them as individuals.
Yeah, I certainly see that from the text. We have evidence
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
I'd like to believe it, but if Andrew said there's evidence from the text about how Emran would react to it now with his new information with the Radiance being out there, would he react the same? Is he
We
gonna
know
be
that
like,
he would
hey,
act the same. He didn't bother telling Dalinar about the shard blade that he found, so we know that he would act the exact same as he did in the past.
But
I don't-
Dalinar also didn't let a lot of people know about truths that he knew about meeting Odium and thinking that it was in the best interest of the situation at hand. And depending
Very
on
true.
how you look at it,
Oh,
it's hard
I mean,
to know.
there's a lot there. And
Very
Shots
true.
fired.
I feel like there's a median where maybe I can't say for sure they would act this way, but perhaps there'll be more understanding. Because I feel like Allman wants to. Not only does he want to be the perfect soldier, because that's his image, that he would actually consider this stuff because that's who he wants to be. And like there's a good chance that he would be like
Yeah.
changed, not so status, but he'll be his own man.
You know, we're just going to have to find out how this develops because in part 5, I suspect that Amaran is going to fuck us over hard. And that's because of Dalinar omission of one comment.
Right.
Yeah.
And I suspect
Yeah.
that will happen. We'll see. I could be totally wrong.
I actually agree with you. I feel I feel that Alman's gonna blame Dalinar for you sacrificed us.
Yeah. It could be, man.
Because they're split. And they're kind of enemies.
Yeah.
But not quite. I mean,
Amaran
it's
was
just-
kind of
They
like,
are
hey, let's have a
enemies because
truce.
Amaram's leading Sadius's troops.
At least that's what he was
there's
saying.
definitely-
Yeah.
At least that's what he was saying.
I think he's a...
I'm saying that
I think so too.
Bridge
But we
that
don't
that-
know.
they'll be take massive losses.
They might.
And Alman's you set us up,
man.
and you made us lose, because of all the previous stuff.
Just
Even though he didn't, he's you're here to rebuild, but then they found out that
It's for
this is gonna be the attack.
Go ahead, Kenny.
on an ethical level, I completely understand your viewpoint, Ben, and that is completely true. Sadius's troops could be you betrayed us, but Dalinar could just come back and say, "What did you do to us on the high tower? This is payback for that."
Well, those
So,
are the troops.
that's justice.
No, yes and no. You can say the troops feel that way, but the troops aren't going to do anything without the commander telling them what to do.
True.
I can't blame the footmen for what the commander told them to do. Because if they don't, they're just going to be killed or sent to the bridge crews.
Yeah.
Especially in Sadius'
I
They will
agree.
be sent to the Bruge Crews.
I agree that you can't blame them, or I agree that you can't judge them. But on the same token, atrocities can only happen because good people are complicit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. It's an
really
impossible
complicated.
situation.
That's the
It's an impossible
lesson that you're
situation.
learning
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
We can't really judge any of these people or anyone in general because we don't know all of these circumstantial
Exactly.
information.
We're
And
gonna
that's kind of hey, you can't just. It's all
That's-
ever learning,
And-
even with Dalinar, you have to learn. Hey, we can't judge people based on who they were. We have to judge them as to who they are,
Yeah.
and we don't know who they are going to become.
Exactly.
One of the things early in the book, book 2, I believe it was, that Kaladin was looking up at the batters,
Yeah.
and he realized why the bridge crews didn't have shields, didn't
Right.
have armor, because they were pretty much slaves, and easily replaced, super cheap, you're now a bridge crew. The soldiers, though,
Trained
were
men.
trained for
Yeah.
years, for months to understand how to work together.
Formations.
Yep.
And if they died, it's a bigger loss than a bridge crew, a slave.
It just so happened that Kaladin was significantly well trained and much better than
Yeah.
what they were
I mean, he
assuming
was-
for him. So, yeah.
Or compared to everyone else, a boss.
Yeah, he
When he was on the bridge crew, he had skills, surgeon skills,
It was a
military
waste,
skills, leader skills,
Yeah.
and he could bring them together.
But-
and that's highly unlikely in all reality for a bridge crew to have that kind of person
Yeah.
in that position.
would so happen that
Well, is it though? Because we learned through Bridge 4
How you
that
can get there.
Those a lot of people
Yeah.
in that crew that had skills that were not being taken advantage of.
But they didn't.
You had
step up.
Taft, who was also a
Taft,
leader.
Rock.
All of them are people that had some skills, and I
they
think
also
that,
had-
What you're learning there is maybe the people that
Downfalls.
we think are not necessarily as valuable do have a value to them that we don't see.
But you
But
can also look at it
they
in the
didn't
sense
step
of
it up.
Exactly. If you don't step up and do it, is that value actually as valuable
They
as you
just
think?
accepted the
You
position.
know?
Well, that depends on the fact as to circumstances as well. These
think-
people were in a different circumstance than
They
the people
were,
that were
exactly.
light eyes. You know what I mean?
But-
They didn't have the same.
He wasn't light
opportunities.
eyes. Kaladin was dark eyes, and he didn't have the. I mean, he was a higher Dan, and he was almost light eyes, kind of, in his home village.
he was a high den.
But he
Right,
didn't
though.
have. People didn't follow him because of the light
He was
eyes.
dark eyes enough to hate light eyes.
And
Yeah.
he made his own path, not because of light eyes, just because.
But
he had his own.
He made his
feelings.
own pact because he was a lighter dark guy.
So,
like,
A lighter
there's some,
dark guys?
yeah, there's some dark guys that are different dons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if my dad's a farmer, I'm gonna be a farmer.
so
We
we
had the opportunity to decide, according to where he was in society and what social system he was a part of, to decide and make
So we,
decisions accordingly. So yeah, he's not a light eyes, but he's more than just a dark eyes.
we have to continue this discussion, though. I don't know that we'll find the solution yet, but
I don't think there are solutions.
There's not.
Yeah.
No.
What we do
there's
want
not a
to
simple
But I
solution.
think it's really
We're gonna-
interesting to talk about.
it is. I need
But it gets away from the book and more
Yes.
into real life
And-
philosophies.
and I want to get what I
Although the
need-
book is really closely tied to
Very-
real life
yeah.
philosophy,
It is,
so I guess it's not completely.
It's not. No,
I feel like
the book.
it's
Oh
definitely
wait, hold on.
important,
To Calvin's motive.
It's fiction imitating
right,
real
right.
life.
Yeah. However,
This is why
I
it's
do got to guide
brilliant.
us towards one thing though, because we need to talk about Taravangian's Game
Oh.
of Thrones maneuver. Because he
Boy,
basically,
big time.
There's a lot less blood in his maneuver, but
Oh,
the damage
man.
is done
dude,
nonetheless.
it's done. I honestly, and at a time when they're about to be attacked, at the time that they literally need
Ooh.
Dalinar to be at the highest power that he could be, they just undermined him, and now they're going to go into a battle.
Yeah.
To
One
me,
thing
I think
about
that's
that-
going to backfire on Taravangian.
Like,
he needed to wait
in the
literally
future?
he needed to wait till post
I
battle.
feel like Dalinar has a very similar to Shallan with his personalities. Like his peaceful unite them with peace, and then his with the sword
yeah.
personality. And I feel like he's gonna realize like I have to become more of my Blackthorn. Not for all time.
Sometimes he needs to, though.
But
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
he should be like bring his Blackthorn-ness back.
Yeah.
And like crush some of the
Great point.
aspect.
There's almost like he needs to accept his Blackthorn past
Yes.
and use it to his advantage, like Shallan should be using and accepting Veil and Radiant and all these.
Oh,
it's almost
yes.
like Dalinar is grown and he's awesome, but sometimes you just need the fucking Blackthorn.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Because
But he also needs to be careful about
Falling into
suddenly
Blackthorn.
being like, I know what's best. I'm going to make these people into what I know what's best. You
Yeah.
know, because I do believe in the power of tribunal. I do
Yes.
believe that the masses on a great enough scale will almost always come to the right conclusion.
Not only that,
Because everybody's capable of being wrong.
Dude.
But if that person that's wrong is in a position of power that can influence
Yes.
100% of the people,
Yeah.
and think
it's
about
bad.
exactly,
Hitler.
dude. And
Hashtag
think about
Hitler.
this. Think about how right it was for Elhokar. He knew it was right. He knew letting Dalinar be High King was right.
Right.
And how it ended up being right for Dalinar to accept it, but how wrong it appears to everyone else, and how much he doesn't
Yeah.
want to be their High King
Exactly.
anyway.
That's
So
the-
like,
yeah.
That's what's so hard about
it's
it.
a twisted maneuver, and Taravangian played it well.
It was
He did.
right thing to call, except sorry, Andrew, let me say this.
Sure.
The one thing that really held him back was Dalinar. He still doesn't want to be king. Like he still thinks of his brother as the king.
Yeah.
And so when Elhokar like swore fealty to him, like I'm the king, there's high princes, there's king, and now you're high king. He didn't know why I want that, and he should have just accepted it because now there's all this. He told high princes, I think later, and there's all this like retribution coming down with untrustworthiness that he could have just been like, this is how it's gonna be. He's not trying to take over the world. He's just trying to lead.
But
Here's the thing that
knowing what
worries-
we know now, based on his interaction with the other kingdoms, nobody believes him when they say, "Hey, I want to just come in and help you rebuild." They're like, "No, I'm not letting the Blackthorn into my kingdom with an army."
But,
Not
Oh,
happening.
yeah.
but that may change.
Look at how he was.
You know?
Like no one knows Blackthorn from the past. Like he's still the same guy. Everyone
He's got to build that. He's got to build
assumes
that
he's the
now.
same person who is destroying kingdoms. He
So
broke
imagine
down the
him
lift.
telling everybody, "Hey, I'm High King now, but I'm not really High King."
But
Yeah.
here's also the kind of thing that worries me about Dalinar. It's like I don't want to believe this, and I actually don't really believe this, but it still is like a thought in my mind. And this is kind of a cheat because it's based off of the back jacket of the first book.
Yeah.
And I don't know how true that is, or if it was just a marketing team
right
making
here.
up stuff. So the back jacket of the first book basically says, there are four whom we watch. The first is a surgeon, blah, 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 blah. The world can change. Where is it? Anyway, I don't want to find it. You can find it if you want. But basically it says, like, one of them will save them, one of them will do this, one of them will destroy them. And basically, the one of thems are, like, Shallan or Yasna, Kaladin, and Dalinar. And it worries me that Dalinar could be the one that comes to destroy them if this wasn't just a marketing thing. It could be just a marketing thing. I have no idea. I have no idea if this back jacket's canon or not.
Remember, based on
The four people are key. One of them may redeem us, and one of them will
destroy us. So it worries me that Dalinar is in such a position. He's somebody that didn't want power and yet somehow got power. It's like almost like there's two Dalinars, like we were talking about before, where there's his true self and the version that he's telling to himself because the old magic made him believe that's who he is. But does instinct always come through? Will he eventually become the Blackthorn again and just completely become ruthless and cutthroat?
Remember that
the Unmade was that thrill.
One of the Unmade is thrill, yeah.
One of the Unmade
And
is
that's
the
what he
thrill.
felt, and when he was in the capital with Fen, the Queen Fen.
Yeah.
That's why he left. He rushed out because he felt that thrill, and he's like, I'm gonna just kill everybody. I
can't trust myself.
He felt it bubbling up inside him, and he had to go.
Does anyone else feel like the Unmade are like the 7 deadly sins? Except like they're bringing in different people. Like one of them is definitely like wrath.
Gluttony.
What's in the box?
What's wrath?
Wrath? That would be the thrill.
You think the thrill is wrath?
Yeah, it just wants to kill.
Then there's
Gluttony.
Gluttony. Which would obviously be
Ultras in
lift.
the box.
I'm just kidding.
Then there's
Lust.
Well, see, the gluttony one was kind of lust and gluttony and greed all together.
No.
It was like overindulgence of all, because when they went to that party, Shallan went there. And
That's gluttony.
Just,
The cultist party.
They were like fucking each other in the corner.
No, that one wasn't gluttony.
Gluttony's
That one wasn't lust. That one was the one that
the
changes
indulgence
people.
one.
That's the one that changes or changes
I thought it was the overindulgence
minor
one.
spren.
No, there was two there.
Oh, there was two there. Yeah,
And one of them changes spren,
and the other
and
one.
the other
the
one was
indulgence.
like the lust and gluttony and
the indulgence
overindulgence.
But
So
I
they
think
combined
overindulgence is gluttony. That's not lust.
No, yeah.
They were lust.
overindulgence is
They were
definitely
lust
gluttony.
there. They were just like going.
But you
to-
can overindulge in lust.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like
Yeah.
crazy.
Lust can be temporary or it can be a chronic
I
thing
see
that
what you're
you
saying.
do.
I see what you're saying. I guess we'll find out. But there certainly is, correlations to that kind of unmade shit. I will say that.
It's there.
And like
but
one is curiosity,
I
the
don't know.
one is always trying to find like humans and imitate them. Like I don't know, it just seems so interesting the way that it's.
but
Well,
curiosity is
yeah.
not a 7.
I don't think
I
it's
definitely
gonna be
feel
fun.
like-
But curiosity is what opened the deadly sins.
I definitely
into
feel
a
like
box.
Sanderson draws upon a lot of these universally known stories that
Yeah.
they call it the hero's journey, which the Bible draws from, and like all sorts of like ancient texts, true or false, all
But the
come
thing of
from
that-
this. But
Yeah, he changes it up though.
he does it in such an amazingly like
He changes it up.
transformative
That's what I
way.
like because you get the tradition without the cliche a lot.
without the cliche. Yeah,
So it's good.
it's so good.
I don't know, guys. We have one part left to read in this book. And we've got a few minutes. We should just like finish out the conversation of what we got to have. But I think really we need to make some Brett bets. Because we haven't made the last 2 episodes. We've left them dry.
That's true. Yeah.
Sure.
And
Burn
I think
some
that we need
speculations.
We need some good
we
bets.
need to throw out some speculations and own them.
What did you call me?
Speculation. Oh my gosh.
I can't
So
even.
we need some.
I can't even. I can't even.
Well, there goes my
But can
career.
you add?
All right.
But can you add?
Yeah.
You baited me.
So I'll start. I say that we all throw one out. And that way we get a 4. They don't have to.
Oh.
I'm going to throw one out, though. We have Adolin becoming a Radiant, so we don't need that shit. But I'm going to throw one out now, and I'm going to say... that...
Wait, what's the Brett bet?
We're each
That's
going to
what
make
we're
one
making
up.
right now.
Each going to make one up. And I'm going to say...
Each gonna make a
should
big
we?
bet?
Yeah, we're each going to. I'm going to say that...
And then we'll choose the best one.
Okay.
No, we're taking all 4 of them.
Nah.
We've
Whoa.
got like 4 episodes in a
5
row.
of them.
We're dry on Brett bets. We're going to add some to this.
Yeah.
So here's
Make a
mine.
deal. Make a
Mine
bet.
is going to be that some of the Unmade will break from Odium and fight on our side.
Agreed.
Ooh.
I think Venly's definitely gonna do that.
Some of the Unmade.
Oh, some of the Unmade. Oh, my bad. I thought you said somebody is gonna.
The other thing that I'm going to say is... Actually, that's
So
too
basically...
easy.
So
we agree on that. Do we agree on that?
Okay.
Do we agree that'll happen?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I would probably say so, yeah. I
That's
would
too
agree.
cliche then. I'm going to go with something more. I'm going to say that Elokar almost became a Radiant, or was becoming a Radiant when he died.
Well, we had a...
And
right
then-
on that.
We know that
already,
true.
right?
Yeah.
I know that.
And then-
no, I'm starting
Okay,
that.
okay.
Exactly.
And then-
Thank you. Thank you, Hitman knew what was up.
Like, here's the bet.
The bet is that his specific cryptic will bond one of our known characters.
Ooh.
Because he had a cryptic that was
Okay.
about to bond.
You think
him.
it's a cryptid?
I think
What's
it was
yours?
a cryptic. I think he was going to bond a cryptic.
I don't have a bet like that.
I don't either.
That's
I-
fine.
I mean,
I'm gonna
I've
say-
got one, but I don't have an answer to my own bet, so that's the problem.
Well,
I don't have an answer either. That's why I'm betting it. I'm making a gamble.
I'm gonna feel that he was not a cryptid.
You got the recording, Captain. All right.
I do.
I'm saying Elokar, and I'm making it specific. Elokar's cryptic will bond somebody we know. Somehow.
I'm saying that he was not bonding a cryptid. That was not him.
All right.
So you're saying that the Spren that was gonna bond with Alucard is potentially gonna bond with someone we know, but it's not a cryptic.
I don't know if he's gonna bond, but I don't think Elka was a cryptid.
All right.
That
Okay.
was it.
2 Brett bets on that then. I say he's a cryptic, and then you could have a different bet, and I still think that whatever Spren, which I think is a cryptic, is
So
going to
one
bond.
I think
Brett bet
we're just
is
combining
was
into one.
Elokar.
He sees
Spren a
pattern
cryptic?
heads.
And
And
He
is
sees
it going to
pattern
bond
head
with somebody
shadows.
else in the group that we know?
That was from book 1. He sees pattern head shadows. Like, he's got to be a cryptic.
I just don't feel.
All right. But either way, I say he's a cryptic, Dross, and
Okay.
that Spren, it doesn't have to be a cryptic, but I'm calling it a cryptic, and that's a bonus. That Spren is going to bond somebody that we know.
Cool.
I don't know what yet, though. I don't know how, but I think that.
Okay, to answer or to vet on that, I don't think that his Spren is a cryptic either, but I do think that the Spren that was going to bond with Alucard is going to bond with somebody we know.
Nice. I'm half and half, so one of
Yeah.
us will get the bonus.
I
and
feel
one of
like
us will
he
get
saw
a half.
shadows all the time, but
Yeah.
I feel like the shadows that he saw were kind of similar to the shadows that
Like the ink,
Jasna saw,
the
but
ink
his
people.
his are actually going to be the ones that follow the traditional Spren that her Spren wanted to be opposite of.
Ah, which is why they're siblings. But
Siblings.
different. That's a good call. I like that a lot. I'm going to hold my cryptic because I already said it.
Well, duh, you can't change it. You made the bad bridge.
Okay, Ben said it's not a cryptic, but what do you think about the bonding?
Bonding about Spren.
Elokar,
Do you think,
Spren
do you think that
almost,
Spren is going to bond with somebody that we know already, a character we know already?
or not
Or
already,
someone in
but
the
that
grave.
we will know. Like it will be a character
It'll
that becomes
rebond.
it'll rebound
rebond
to a character that's
to
important.
somebody in the book.
And we're going to learn, hey, I was the Spren that
Yes.
was going to... Yeah.
It'll become,
No.
Okay.
No, I'm
No,
not saying
this
it's
is no.
not.
All right.
Like, I don't feel.
So me and Manny
That'll
are
make a
yes.
big story
Manny
point.
thinks Ink Boy. I think Cryptic. And Ben says hell no.
Ben says no and no.
Brett?
I don't know.
Oh, he said no.
I really don't know enough about
That's why it's a bet, dude.
No, because
Ben's like, my name is...
almost
No.
all-
My number is...
No. Almost all my other Brett bets, I have the information to...
He sees shadows,
Form an
dude.
opinion.
He sees shadows.
Yeah, I don't remember
You
that.
can't remember that Manny always loses.
That's true. What did Manny say?
So
Yeah,
said
I
he
always
missed them.
lose.
What
so
did
I
you
said
say?
No,
it's
actually,
not
he
a
doesn't.
cryptic,
He does not
and-
always lose.
he's the
But I do
loser.
think it is going to.
He does not always
with
lose.
somebody else.
Okay, so I'm going to do the opposite of that and say it's not a cryptic and it's going to bond with somebody.
It is.
That's what I
a-
said.
Yeah, the opposite.
Oh wow.
So it is a cryptid and it's not gonna bond with anyone.
Whatever
The
Manny
opposite,
said, I'll
opposite.
go with that.
Yeah, he's agreeing with me.
All right, Captain.
I'd
All right.
hate to have a
And
drink
then,
alone.
I don't have a lot of
Thank you, Brett.
I don't have a lot of evidence
Oh,
to
you got-
back up my opinion one
You got
way or the
evidence,
other.
huh?
But I'm gonna say that yes, it is a cryptic. So I agree with Jeff and Brett. But I will say
And Manny.
that
No,
that
he does-
yes,
I don't think
he
so.
will
No, I
bond
said
with
the
somebody.
same as
So
Manny.
I'm
Yeah,
agreeing
the same
with
as Manny.
Jeff
So he's
and
agreeing
Manny.
with.
Yeah, except that Manny didn't agree with us, Tress.
I didn't agree with him being a cryptic, but I did agree that it is going to bond with somebody else.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
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 Yes,
But you-
he will bond with somebody else. And also, yes, he is a cryptic.
He's 100% with Jeff.
That's-
Captain
He's
and
with
I,
yes and yes.
Captain and Demon are going to win this one
and
out.
Ben's the opposite of both of us?
Yeah.
Ben is the opposite
Right.
of
Of all
everyone.
of us?
Yeah, Ben is
Yeah.
no. His number is no.
Dude, that makes me worried. Ben's just going to be standing there with
So,
his fucking
Andrew,
six-shooter and a
you got my bet
cognac.
down on all of them.
All
I
right,
do.
Because
So-
I want them to drink.
we have good.
Yeah.
This is good though because
I'm wholeheartedly expecting to drink. I just bet
this
with
is actually
Manny.
good. We have three.
That's why you're gonna drink.
We've got three different outcomes.
Yep.
We've got yes, the bond, but you're thinking more of the ink people.
So whatever the
Josh and I
answer
are
is,
thinking cryptic.
So
but
Jeff is
the
yes,
bond.
yes. Andrew or Ben is no, no, and
so
we're
since,
yes, no.
since Josh
Yes.
isn't here, I'm gonna bet for him. Whatever the answer ends up not being, I bet them both on both of them. For Josh. He's gonna drink.
These riddles. All right.
Lies.
Next
So-
up. Anybody else got a good one? We got to put a few more in here.
I don't know if it's gonna be a Brett bet, but does anybody have any theories on who wrote or who is what is it? Hessis
Hessi?
Mythica?
Hessis
Hessis
Mythica?
Mythica?
Yeah.
Who do you guys think that is?
Oh.
We
Who?
get
The Mythica?
probably more so than almost anything other than the Way of Kings from the first book. We get the most quotes from that text. It seems.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not
in this section,
Well, yeah.
maybe not the most quotes, but we get a lot of quotes.
Well, each part has
and it's
a
not the
different
name
thing.
of the book. We usually get a lot of quotes from the name of the book. We get a lot of quotes from Oathbringer. We get a lot of quotes from Words of Radiance. We get a lot of quotes from Words of King or the Way of Kings. In
Is it
this
Hessia's
section,
Mythica?
Hessis Mythica is something that we haven't really heard of.
But I
before.
thought it was. Wait, what's the library? The translated library. That's what. We
Those
get
are the
quotes from.
stones.
That's not.
But
the, what's the Mythica again?
Hessi's
Hessis
Mythica is her
Mythica
talking
is-
about all the different Unmade.
The Unmade.
It's a bunch of different.
Yeah.
That's
Unmade,
right.
Yeah.
That's the book that Shalon has right now that she just got in order to study the Unmade when we were in part 3.
right.
She got that to study what she thought the Unmade were in the tower, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, but
kinda
who do you
like
think that
the
Hessis
Necronomicon.
is?
Who is Hessi?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
To
Sounds like a
me,
hussy.
I kind of almost felt like it was one of the Radiants or something like that. 'Cause-
Could be, right?
Cause-
I don't think it's a Radiance because she mentions Jasna.
Or maybe not. Oh, does she?
Yeah, she
Oh.
says Jasna doesn't believe that these things are.
So
that-
she's modern.
Well, but
She's
but,
modern.
But there was one point where I felt like, unless this is a different text, but I thought that during one of her entries, she talks about how, oh, the thing I'm gonna miss most is being able to like ride the wind or something like that. Jump off.
That's a different. That's a different.
Oh, is that a
That's
different?
That was
the
Oathbringer.
stones. The
I got those
stones,
mixed
as they're
up
being
then.
untranslated, are old captures of the library.
Okay, I
that
got
they
those
used to
mixed
have,
up
yeah.
then. Well, forget it.
So, all right. Anybody else got a good Brett bet? We should add one more at least because we did 2 episodes without any Brett bets.
Yeah, we
And,
did.
and honestly, I've been editing for a while, and we've been a little dry on them.
It's all right.
Yeah, we have
I mean,
been.
if they don't come organically,
Yeah.
but I mean,
we
there's
should
a
enforce
lot
them.
that I think can be
there
organic.
is a
here.
lot, but I feel like for a long time there was a lot where it's like, oh, it could be this or it could be that, but now it seems
that
like
was in book 1.
it seems like there's a time where it's just like,
Yeah, but I think
What the
we
fuck
should
does
we
that
should
mean?
reach, man. Let's reach.
Yeah.
Let's take some reaches and just
I mean,
go
yeah,
for it.
yeah, I definitely
All right,
took
how
some
about-
reaches.
Captain's got
Well,
one.
Oh,
Do it,
yeah.
Captain.
I was thinking of one, but so they're gonna get out of Shadesmar pretty soon. I'm thinking. Do we think that we're gonna see
3 minutes.
any more extended visits to Shadesmar? I don't know. I think we probably will.
Yes.
I assume that they would get out of it pretty quickly, but
I think they're going to need an alliance with Shadesmar,
yeah.
a regular
Yeah.
human
I need to go
sprint
back.
alliance to beat Odium. So I say yes.
Yeah.
Shadesmar will become over throughout the books. Probably there's a lot of books, right?
Yeah.
I say over the time, I suspect that they'll be going to Shadesmar, like Crichton goes to otherworldly planets.
I feel.
Well, how about-
back to
you
Shadesmar.
know what? One thing.
How about this?
I-
Hold on.
Sure.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, how about this? Do you guys think that ultimately, eventually, all of these universes, all of these worlds from Sanderson's books are going to end in a Avengers-style complete merging of these worlds?
Well,
Do you think
has,
it's going to have an
no.
overreaching...
Yeah, so he has said, even some of the books, this like side books that I've read, he said like there is a story that overarches all of it, and it will eventually come into something.
So,
But I don't think it will be Stormlight.
you don't think so?
It's not going to be.
You don't think
Stormlight.
that he's going to like actually like somehow merge Mistbringer or whatever it's called and
Mistborn?
Stormlight? Mistborn
He
and
already
Stormlight?
is. But
No, I mean like in a way that they're actually intertwining characters
one day
other than
there
like, Wit.
will be something like that.
Yeah.
He's admitted it, but I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think it'll come in this arc. Like
So
this
it might
story.
be a completely different series,
Right.
Where these characters
All right.
then
Well, what we could do a Brett bet on, something really, really, really crazy that I noticed, is you know how when you read the book, in every part, Sanderson will give you a preview of whose perspective you're
Yeah.
going to get in each section.
Yep.
Oh, I got
Part-
a rep bet. Go ahead, sorry.
Part 5 does not have, like, hardly anybody that we even know. Like, it's all basically Outlander people. The only people that we even know are, like, Adolin, Navani, Taravangian, that we've had a few from already. And then, like, new characters. Like, we get
I haven't
it
even
one
looked
from
at that
Wit,
yet.
which is awesome. We get one from Polona, which is a new one out of left field. Yanagon, which is... Lift's friend.
Yeah.
That's out of left field. We get a bunch of like crazy ass ones out of left field. So I don't know that any of us are going to be truly satisfied with this very short part 5.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Set up,
But-
set up, set up.
But yeah, man. Do we think what could the Brett bet be based off of that?
Hey,
Well, if we don't have a rep bet based off of that,
but
I
no,
have
we'll do
one.
both. We got to
Okay.
do both. I'm gonna say that the critical chapter is gonna be Adolin, and something nasty is gonna happen during that.
Whoa. I think so.
I think
or
for sure.
Taravangian.
I think one.
Taravangian is gonna be nasty too.
I think 100%. I personally think 100% the last chapter is most likely, if not the last chapter, the last chapter of Real Consequence is going. If that is the character selection,
Yeah.
it's got to be that the last chapter of Real Consequence is going to be Adolin, and that's going to be the main
Or it could be Taravangian.
cliffhanger. I don't think that we're as connected to Taravangian.
You're
though.
right.
I think he might do something that could affect the characters that we love, but I think the thing that we're going to learn that is affecting the characters we love is going to come from Adolin's chapter, and it's probably going to be either the last
Cliffhanger.
chapter or the last real chapter
Yeah.
of
Besides just
main
getting
character
updates.
substance. Exactly.
Just getting updates, yeah.
Yeah.
I could agree with that.
Man.
But
Well, that's a rough crowd, dude.
I've got a
Do you
A
think
Brett
Adolin's
bet-
gonna die?
a Brett bet that could be like a yes or no. Something that can be like, do I think what?
I'm
Adolin?
starting to get worried that Adolin's gonna die in this
I don't
book.
think he's gonna die in this book. I think he's gonna die.
That scares the shit out of me!
No!
I don't know, but
That's
I don't think he's
basically
gonna die
saying
in this
the
book.
demon's gonna die.
But what about this? I don't know. Maybe you guys aren't as excited about this, but Zeth in this section we have seen an actual, for the very first time as far as I can remember, a non-interlude perspective chapter from.
Right? Yeah,
Do
that's right.
you guys think, yes or no, that Zeth is eventually going to be on the side of Kaladin and Shallan and all the main characters that we so far have associated as our main characters?
Yes.
Basically, the Stormbringer, the honor side, Stormbringer side versus Odium
Yeah.
side.
Yes,
Maybe.
because
I don't-
Moash is already. They're switching.
Yeah.
Moash and Zeth are going to
I
gradually
think
switch.
that they all gonna be on the same side,
They
like,
won't like each other, though.
but they're gonna be like against each other. Like they had the same goals, but
They'll
since
never
they
align.
had the history
So it's gonna be
before-
like Jon Snow and Cersei.
And Hodor.
Yeah,
And Hodor.
and like we know
Because we all know Jon Snow hated Hodor.
Except in the book, they'll be like totally against each other, but they'll still be like the same goals.
Right.
But they don't know it.
They're
but
gonna
we
be
know it.
allies through destination, but not allies through
Journey.
like point of view and journey.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to say I agree with Ben. So, allies through destination, not allies through journey. That's the bet. We're going to close that.
No, so it's a yes or no. It's yes or no.
Yes to them being allies?
Yes, that's what you said. You said it was going to be a yes or no bet. No?
Yeah,
Then,
basically.
then no, they're not gonna be allies.
Yes, will he fight on their side, or no, he will fight and stay on the Odium side?
Well, he's
He's
not on
not-
the Odium
no.
side. He's on the Skybreaker side.
I thought they're not
No.
on Odium side?
No.
No.
No,
They're already
That's
against
true.
Odium.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's
That's right.
So it's not about
I
whether
forgot
they're...
he's with the guy
Yeah,
that
it's more about whether he will
That's
align
true.
with Kaladin, because historically they already say...
stray from the
I think he's going to
now,
bridge
the
the gap.
Skybreakers.
Historically, Skybreakers and Windrunners hated each other. I'm going to say that Zeth and Kaladin will bridge the gap.
So basically, the bet is will Zeth fight alongside Kaladin?
Yes.
So if
That's
that
basically
means that,
what it
is
boils
that means
down
that
to.
if the two groups combine, I see
They
that
won't combine,
as,
but
if they do combine, I see that as bridging the gap, as them coming together.
some way,
I would see that.
they'll
Do
fight
Do they fight
alongside
together?
each other.
Do
Yeah.
they fight together or do they not?
I'm saying yes.
Okay.
This is a lot less
You wanna
interesting
know.
now that
I
I know
wanna
they're not
say
fighting for an Odium.
They might fight together for a time.
It's not
But-
going to work out.
It's the goals is too different, and they're gonna bridge apart.
That's how it was historically, so you might be right.
And I feel like, yes, they have similar goals, but they'll once they like become together, they're like, oh well, no, we need to
They think differently.
two differently, and they're gonna split back apart.
That's how it was described in history. So that's good. So we've got one yes, and Ben says no.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes.
No.
Brett's saying yes.
Mandy says no.
Manny
Manny says no. And
No,
also,
like, even
I
just-
say no.
Yeah, I
Andrew
think
also says no.
reading that last
All right.
chapter where he did the test about the whole justice, or like like true law or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I was like really a little bit turned off by it,
Yeah,
especially
It's
when they
really
were
harsh.
like they let all of these inmates escape and then they had to hunt them
Yeah.
out, and it's like, oh hey, but then you find out that the real thing is that the guards,
warden.
Yeah.
you know,
Warden.
they're getting paid
Yeah.
for putting these people and not even like taking care of them and stuff. But it's like, I think that the way that honor spren work and Kaladin and his thought process is like, these people should not be dying or be put in these for us to
Well,
make.
That's why they
law
never
happen.
got along historically.
Whereas they're like, no, we
Yeah.
need to let this take its
'Cause
course
they-
so that we
they-
can
the thing is
bring
like
true law.
if that was Kaladin's view, it'd be like these people did crimes, they need to be put in jail. But in jail,
They should still be treated as people.
They should be not starved and treated as scum. Like,
But
the
they,
idea-
Windrunners and Skybreakers historically never.
I
Jail
don't.
mashed,
I don't
so-
remember that offhand.
Yeah,
in the
they,
book.
they gave a lot of like radiant quotes, like the Skybreakers and the Windrunners just didn't. They never. And I think that the question that we're asking is that trend going to continue?
Yeah, I mean,
Or are
Dark
Seth
Eyes
and-
and Light Eyes have never really meshed
Are
either,
Seth
but
and-
Kaladin's
yeah.
all about the
All right,
Dalinar
folks,
right now.
that was it.
All
We're
about
done
this
with this episode,
Dalinar.
and we will
Shalom.
see you for the end of the book.
Give me that.
Cheers.
This
Next
is Lit
episode,
Literature,
we
episode
finish it.
21, Oathbringer, and we will see you again next time for the end of the book.
Part 5.
Cheers.
Yes.
Thanks again for joining us for this episode of Lit Literature. If you liked us, please check out our social media at Lit Literature 1 at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't hesitate to join in on the conversation. We appreciate the conversation, the questions, book recommendations, anything of that sort. Join in right on the social media websites. And don't forget to check us out at our website, litliterature.com, and our upcoming projects, though there aren't many now besides Lit Literature, you can find at lyket.net, Lyket. We do have a Patreon account, but if you truly want to support us, please like and share. Cheers.